Hello.
Hi, Kim.
Hi.
Thanks for coming and letting me do this today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I've known you a long time, and you have sure been an inspiration to me. I've watched your success and your struggles, and
yes,
I'm just really glad you're here to talk to me today.
yeah, it's a good day.
You had a hard time.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell me a little bit about your life?
Yeah, life was just ticking along pretty good. My husband and I were working together in the real estate industry, and I discovered some bruises on my knees and red spots on my legs, and I thought, oh, this is a little bit odd. And I gave it a day and decided I should probably go and at least get a blood test. And I went to the doctor, got a blood test, and I was just on my way back from a listing appointment, and I got a phone call, and it told me, the doctor told me that I needed to get to Emerge immediately.
Wow.
And it was a shock.
I bet.
Anyway, I ended up I was critically ill at that point. They rushed me down to VGH, and I was diagnosed with what's called aplastic anemia, which is essentially bone marrow failure. So it was a huge problem. And the story is not all bad. It was a rough road. It taught me a lot of lessons though, and taught me how to manage my stress loads, my nervous system. I became very spiritually inclined, because when you're in that kind of situation and you are living in fear, not knowing if you're going to live or die, that's not a nice place to be.
No.
It's really stressful. So we were in Vancouver General I had to move down to the city so that I could be near the hospital. And I was in the hospital. The first stint was 33 days, where they tried to just stabilize my body, and I had to live in the city, so I was in daycare every 3 days, 2-3 days, getting blood transfusions because my blood just was not producing, it wasn't working.
Did you feel really unwell? Like, did you have any inclination that you were that sick?
No.
Wow,
nothing.
That's the scariest part, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And when I started my treatment, I was being medicated, and obviously felt very unwell with medications and steroids and all of the things that they were trying to jumpstart my system. And it was really just a strange time. The medications just make you blow up like a balloon. I had hair where I shouldn't have hair, and we waited to see if the medication would kind of work. And about 8 or 9 months in, they said that I would probably need a bone marrow transplant.
Wow.
And fortunately, one of my brothers was a match. He was a 10 out of 10 match.
Perfect.
And before I went for the transplant, I really delved into meditation, rituals, painting. I did things that I wouldn't normally be able to do in real life when you're busy working and you're looking after, family and your house, and
the hustle of real estate never stops, right?
Yeah, so suddenly it all came to a screeching halt. And all I had to do was lie around in my pajamas and, you know, try to heal.
Right.
And yeah, so it was a long process, but you know, in the end, through mindfulness and an understanding of our energy systems, our chakras, you feeling and knowing that there is a higher power, that you know, we have spirit guides with us, we have infinite power within us to heal through the universal energy field. And you know, I know that the doctors saved my life through medicines, and I believe in Western traditional medicine. But you know, there's something big there too when you're going through a crisis. Like, how can you manage it in your favor?
Right.
And
help it along. Right.
Yeah. So you know, when I had to go in for the transplant, I had a 70% chance of survival, which I thought was pretty good. And I just knew that the rest of it was on me. It was on me to make sure that, you know, I didn't have any negative thoughts. You know, I really believe that you can manifest things.
Right.
You know, so I'm manifesting that I'm going to be well. And I'm manifesting that I'm healing, and I'm manifesting that, you know, my blood is, we used to have a chant, my whole family, and we would talk about neutrophils and, you know, red blood cells, that they were all coming, they were all healing. And I can't remember what the chant was. My mom started it, but you know, we were lighting candles, we were meditating. My whole family, when they first found out that I was ill, they were losing it, like absolutely freaking out.
Your daughter.
And I'm like, okay, you guys need to calm down, because your energy is affecting my energy, and I need you guys to relax and
trust,
be positive.
Yeah.
And I wrote an essay called Be Positive, which was my blood type.
Oh,
and
that's
so
great.
It kind of worked for
that's good. Yeah.
for that. But yeah, I just said to my family, like, you guys are gonna like drop dead before me, the way you're having your
stressing,
stress, heart attack mentality, you know. So yeah, it was a journey of just learning, you know, and trusting.
Right.
And there were things that, you know, I did have to release some things. I had to release fear, I had to release anger, I had to release guilt. These are all very low vibrational energies that we're carrying in our bodies. And you know, if you can raise that frequency and get into your heart, where you're just have emotions of love and trust, that's where things can really change in our favor when you're struggling through things.
Right. So do you have any rituals or practices that you do to maintain your
I do. I actually do
health?
Sound healing nowadays. So I have a Reiki practice as well, all energy related, where we're trying to release the stuck energy in our bodies. We want just a beautiful flow of energy. So that kind of those kind of practices help us just to relax our nervous system.
Can you do Reiki on yourself, or does
Yes.
Clark help you? Or
no, we can do Reiki on ourselves. My family, I've got, you know, a 5-year-old granddaughter, and she knows how to do Reiki.
Oh, that's great.
She'll lie me on the table, and, you know, if you brush your hands together and you pull them apart, you can feel the energy.
Oh, I can.
Yes.
I just tried that.
And, you know, just move your hands
to wherever
to
you're
where
feeling.
you're feeling you need it.
Mm.
And I mean, that's a simplified
Of course.
Reiki,
Yeah,
but it's a good start,
for sure.
you know, and it's,
So how would people, so you do Reiki as a business now then?
I do it sporadically as a business, yeah, because I love it.
Yeah.
And I know it works, you know. I incorporate my Reiki, I incorporate hypnotherapy as well. So it's just subconscious programming, you know.
Right.
People get stuck in their minds and, you know, I can't do this, or this has happened to me, or whatever, and, you know, they're holding that trauma in their bodies and not processing it. And that's where illness can set in. So,
For sure.
you know, things like Reiki and sound healing can really help in that regard.
Mm.
And yeah, you know, it's just, as humans, we are emotional beings, and to be able to manage your emotions so that you're not freaking out, or you're not acting in anger, or you know, it's just something that we need to acknowledge, and we don't. You know, we think it's normal to have these emotions because somebody did this to me, or somebody did that to me, or I'm angry because I'm ill and this isn't fair. You can't change the past. You can't change it. You need to, you know, move forward and process the grief that you're dealing with, or the anger, and where is that coming from? It could be coming from another person that maybe you need to forgive. Maybe you need to let go of what you're holding on to and release. And so just finding the ways that you can do that. And, you know, a couple years after my transplant, I became very depressed, you know, I just couldn't stop crying. And the doctors, you know, they're like, okay, well, you know, we'll have the psychiatrist looking on you, and along with that came like the little magic pill.
Right.
And I took one pill, and I could feel it in my body that and I couldn't cry. And I thought, I would rather cry than take this pill and feel nothing.
Right.
Yeah. And so I had to figure out, how was I going to get through this depressive state without pills. And I ended up going to yoga, and I probably went 3 times a week for maybe 2 or 3 months, and depression gone.
Really?
Because you're moving your body, you're getting, you know, the movement that we do in yoga releases, you know, and
Pressure
helps
points.
your energy system like open up. You know, so yeah, there are many holistic ways to get through these hard times.
And just trust that this too shall pass, and we will,
you know, and not give up on it.
Yeah.
You know, it's something that I use every day, you know, and it started with when I was at the hospital. I had an altar. You know, I need my little Buddha statue. I need some rocks and some crystals, And my son-in-law had given me an indigenous crystal, and it was wrapped in leather, and it was huge. And I had that with me in the hospital, and I would set it in the sunlight and charge it, and then every day I would just use it and like a wand across my body, and you know,
healing was happening.
It gave me peace, right?
Yeah.
So how can you get that peace that you need?
Right.
I also, when I was in the hospital, I asked everybody in my family, my friends' family, my Facebook friends, to send me their good energy at a specific date, at a specific time. And like it brings me to tears, because that meditation was the most mystical and magical thing that I'd ever experienced in my life. I felt like my body was lifting off the bed. I felt like I was surrounded in a beautiful white light, and the tears just flowed like a washing away of all the bad.
Wow.
And that went on for a full hour. And it was just beautiful.
Wow.
You know, and the things that we can call upon, you know, to give us again that peace.
Wow.
You know, so that we can settle our minds and understand that there is a higher power that's working for us. You know, if we are in the right vibrational frequency.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
So
I believe in that very much as well.
Yeah. I mean, Einstein said it all.
Oh,
you know,
did he?
We are all energy.
We are.
And everything is energy. So yeah, that's what I really base my life on now. You know, so am I happy with going back to real estate? Yes, I am. It brings me joy. I love the people that I'm working with. I love what I'm doing. You know, if it didn't bring me joy, I wouldn't be doing it.
Right.
Because I'm probably vibrating in a
You'd
lower...
be hurting yourself.
Yes.
Really, right?
In my world, it would not be good for me.
For sure.
So, despite the fact that I'm a realtor and I got a holistic wellness business, and my whole life revolves around energy and how do I keep that beautiful energy in my own home?
Right.
You know, what people am I surrounding myself with?
Mm-hmm.
Where do I live? Like right now, I live in a beautiful rainforest. I feel like it's a beautiful nature reserve.
Yeah.
And every day I get to listen to the birds and talk to the birds and talk to the squirrels and the chipmunks, and you know, like
that's awesome.
It's just yeah, you know, and of course we're gonna have
like a few trees.
Yeah, there's just a few trees.
Yeah.
You know, and of course we're gonna have the times where something goes wrong. You know, a family member or you have a, you know, something, your friend
is in trouble or whatever.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, life is gonna life.
Right.
You know, and it's
That's
just
a good way of putting it.
how do you deal with it?
Mm-hmm.
You know.
So how many times a day, like, do you meditate just in the morning, or do you do it 2-3 times a day, or? So
I do a lot of breath work, and yes, I'll take the afternoon, quiet afternoon, and sit on the couch, and you know, sometimes I'll do a meditation, but a lot of times it's just close your eyes, sit in the position, and just be.
Be with yourself, yeah.
Yeah, you know, that's one thing that really was pretty cool is being able to be alone with yourself. You know, you learn a lot about yourself when it's just you, and you have to figure
Have to be
yourself
comfortable
out.
with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm working on that too because I've always been the type that needed to have a friend around or go do something, or
Yes.
you know, I thrived in the chaos.
Yes.
And so now I'm much better. I can be home alone. I don't need to go find somebody or do something
No.
or have a lunch date or whatever. So I'm with you on that. So what's that book that you're holding you were going to tell me about?
So this is the Bliss Journal to Your Awakening. So it's, when they say an awakening, it's where you feel like you have an understanding of the universe. You know, you're kind of woke.
Okay.
If that's what you want to call it. Like,
right.
You definitely wake up after a situation where you've had, you know, some strife or a scare. You know, like I said, I realize how much power I have, and the power of the universe, the manifestations, and, you know, the rituals and the meditation, and this is how we're supposed to live.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Western medicine doesn't necessarily give us the tools that we need to regulate our nervous systems.
For sure.
But, you know, ancient teachings tell us that we can do it. You know, we have the tools. And so when we talk about the chakra system, that's one of the tools that we use to regulate our system and understand how it works. So I wrote this book because I wanted to teach everyone what I learned. You know, like all of the steps that I took to get through this crazy illness and come out thriving.
And you are thriving. You look amazing.
Thank you.
Healthy.
Took a while, yeah. But, you know, there was a point I was going to make, but despite, like what I said about not knowing if I was going to live or die, I was at peace not knowing because of these practices. So
wow.
That is where I felt that profound learning and connecting to the higher power and within myself as well. So this Bliss Journal, when I got out of the hospital, and you know, even when I was in hospital care, I was writing. I just couldn't stop writing. I would get up in the morning so giddy and excited to write.
Oh, that's
and
great.
Then when I wasn't writing, I was painting angels. So I probably painted 15 angels.
Wow.
And gave them to other angels that supported me in my, you know, crisis. And, you know, there's beauty in the pain. There's still beauty
wow.
in the pain, you know, and it's something that we can all get through despite, you know, our...
Despite someone telling you have potentially are not going to live through the procedure or not knowing.
And even to this day, you know, I'm going to Bali in a few weeks.
Oh.
And it's a dream. And, you know, I've always been a little afraid of planes before my illness.
Right.
And now I'm like, no, I'm just not,
Something
I don't
to be
fear
afraid
death.
Of. Right.
I don't. I feel like I understand death and that there is beauty in it.
Wow.
To some degree. You know, we all have to go. We don't know when, you know, so we can't worry about it.
For sure.
We shouldn't worry about it. We're all put on this earth. Everybody's gotta go.
Yeah, a reason or a season. Yeah.
So anyway, just not to get too like.
No, that's beautiful.
I don't know.
I love it.
But I don't fear death because I understand that
it's not the end, right?
It's not the end. It's just a curtain.
Right.
You know, and we get to go there, and it's going to be awesome. So, you know, getting on this plane to Bali, where I typically would have been like, oh my God, we're going to die. And I've literally like been yelling on a plane that we are going to die.
I have too, yeah.
You know, and I don't have.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
No, you're not. You know, so yeah, it's, you know, probably taught me that you can do hard things. You can, you know, do whatever you want. Like, do it.
Yeah.
You know, you got through
I'm doing
that.
it.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, and I guess my advice to anyone is just, you know, relax your nervous system. Start your spiritual journey. Like, the Bliss Journal is on Amazon, and I know it has helped people.
I will definitely get a copy of that.
Yeah, I get a lot of people. Do you still have those journals? And I can print them and get boxes of them if I need to. You know, so it's kind of cool. I have regulars that get the journal every year.
So it's a yearly journal, or is it a
no?
monthly?
But once you go through it once,
Yeah.
you know, they want to go
Keep
through
going.
it again.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to get one of those.
Yeah.
Because I need the guidance too. I mean, I definitely have come a long way with my spirituality.
Yes.
Spirituality.
Yes.
But I'm still afraid to die. So
yeah, well,
I don't quite have it down pat yet, I guess.
Maybe you just are lucky enough that you haven't had a reason to worry.
Yes.
Right?
Well, that's exactly right.
Yeah. And so when I got back from the hospital and I was finished through the healing process, it took quite a long time. They told me 2 years and I didn't believe it, you know, because I'm just that Energizer bunny that can go. Get through it. But it took more than 2 years. It was probably 3. And you know, I had to give myself the space. Like I wanted to get back to work, but I couldn't, and I just had to let it go, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But so when I did start to feel better, I started doing events at my house. Okay. So we do the sound healings, we've done healing circles, you know, all the, like, I teach people about the chakra system, and we just have a blast.
That's great.
You know, it's cool for everybody to learn how to ground themselves outside, barefoot on the grass, you know, and hopefully your grass doesn't have pesticide on it.
Right.
But you know, out here it's pretty raw and natural. So
that's great.
You know, it's really a good place to come.
Yeah.
And to heal. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, so you feel healed and complete again? You're not.
I do
awesome.
Feel healed and complete. You know, I don't have any PTSD or anything like that. I go through life knowing that my blood is good. I've got good blood. A couple interesting facts about getting somebody else's blood is that my DNA has now changed.
Wow.
So if I were to get another DNA test, I would show up as a male because my brother was my donor.
Wow.
So the last time we were at our family barbecue, I said to my mom, take a picture of your 3 boys.
Oh, wow.
You know, technically I
Huh.
would show up as a male.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a neat fact, eh?
Yeah. Kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah.
So you owe your brother your life.
I do. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
He saved my life. He did. And
Sure,
it
he was
wasn't
glad
easy
to
for
do it.
him either. You know, so
It's a hard procedure, I bet, hey?
yes. Yeah.
Hmm.
It was.
Well, thanks for telling me your story, Kim.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me.
I'm really
It's
happy we got together.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you see people here and there on Facebook, but you really don't get the whole understanding from that, right?
No, it's true. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna get a copy of your book for sure.
Cool.
And I'm gonna make more time for myself too, I think.
Yeah, and come to one of the events.
I
We'll
will.
do a sound healing in the next month or so. So if anyone wants to subscribe, they can go to blissinnerwellness.com.
Perfect.
And then they're on my mailing list. And when I set up an event, I'll send an email. And yeah, when
Awesome.
I come out to the lake, then,
Sure. Do you do it at the lake or just here in your yard?
we just do it here
Pardon me.
in the yard, but the lake is
Too
near.
chaotic, yeah.
No, actually, where we are at the south end of the lake, we can hike and get to the lake through a trail system.
Nice.
Through our complex. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All
well,
right.
thanks for doing that. And yeah, I will look for that email and we'll get on your list.
Yeah, definitely.